Good morning, fellow gardeners. It is June 15th and I'm going to give you an update on the garden. It's getting hot and it's also getting dry, so it's definitely a stressful time. The sun's going to come out and put some heat on me, but yeah, so the garden is going to be slowing down. I have been doing a little bit of planting, I'll show you that, but mainly it's kind of check on these grafts and just see how things are weathering the heat and the dryness. One of the first plantings, because I just did it yesterday, I want to show you over here. So I just love planting like this. This is what I'm planting, and there's actually a few others, but this is the Talinum paniculatum, which is a really great summertime green, and all of this is to protect it from the chickens. I'm planting it in the deep shade where it can hopefully establish through this dry spell. Talinum in particular is an incredibly drought tolerant plant. It actually has like a deep, not a deep root, but like a storage root, like a big fat root. So it's designed for this kind of growing season. Over here in the main garden, it is hot and dry and kale is, going down. Let me step over. So the okra is amazing, tough plants, still going unirrigated, although I know that it is going to be wilting out. I see these wilting out already. By the end of the day, we'll be in trouble. And lots of good tomatoes I need to come and grab today. I will right after this video. But just super impressed with this one plant. This is Carmelo, and I just kicked a pepper plant. And it's doing really well. Most of the others are all eaten up by these guys. See those little ones on the underneath? So this is my move for stink bugs. It's to smash as many as you can. Don't worry about getting stinky because they don't have a lot of natural predators. But anyway, yeah, this plant's been really productive for an unirrigated tomato with some decent salad-sized tomatoes. Oh wow, oh gosh. Okay, I've got to pause this video to do the smash, but I'm going to show it to you first because I need both hands. But look at this cluster of stink bugs on the moringa right up there. They're gonna die. Epic carnage and grossness and stinkiness. And you gotta be willing to get your hands dirty to be a gardener. But yeah, I think that's it. I could grow a lot more with irrigation. And then these bees, I'm loving them. So this is, a swarm trap, and just have thrown on a second box, and I might even throw on a third and just basically grow them like unmanaged bees. A lot of honey coming in. We had an incredible honey flow. So let's jump over there. All of this and what you see with the bees, and those aren't honeybees. Well, that one, that's a honeybee. This one's not. But what I love about this is that it's all just about allowing. Neither of these plants that I brought in, the bee balm or the gaillardia, and all I had to do was mow around them. So I can't say it enough that, to create beauty, it's not about the control, it's about the allowing, or that, there's different aspects that bring in different elements of beauty. But I can't plant stuff in between rocks. You don't bring in, seeds and poke them in, or transplants. It wouldn't work this way, but these plants planted themselves, and I just step around them a little bit. I have to update that I lost most of the grafts from here. So you see that cut, it was a branch this way. And then I had this one that got the main started growth knocked off by a different branch, and but it took well. It's gonna keep growing. So you see the really good heel on it. So Flavor Queen Pluot. But this is all supposed to be plums. What else down here? Jump you guys over so you can see the color. So this is the spicy nectar plum. This one with good growth is Santa Rosa. So this has a lot of space. Santa Rosa is going to be a big part of this tree. And then I can't quite remember oh yeah, Satsuma plum. So this one I don't know. So this is Satsuma and this is Satsuma. I put it on both. And then I think I have one other plum right here. This is definitely a graft right there. Hard to see. All right, you guys, so down from the plum tree, sun's coming out. I've been really enjoying the oranges from this tree gradually. You know, it's like one a day or one even every other day. And what's extra special, if you're into that energetics thing, and I might be repeating myself, but that there is a subtle difference between planting something and really controlling it in order to get that yield, focused on that yield, and when the fruit falls to the ground and you don't even have to pick it in order to, you know, receive it. It's something a little bit different. But what I've been loving is that finally these oranges on this Shamuti sweet orange are falling on their own. And we're talking, I mean, think about how crazy late it is. This is June, so these are oranges from last year. These are this year's oranges. But the oranges will hit the ground and they'll just be there waiting for me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I am a little, you know, like I'm a little thirsty. I do need a little bit of energy. And so I just think there's something to play with there as far as conceptual, you know, spiritual. Some of you guys that are like vegan, vegetarian, you know, understand those kind of energetics. But anyway, that's what I've been appreciating about that fruit tree. So I moved this blueberry. You can see how long and spindly and leggy it is. This is spring high, and it was located back over here, and I just wanted to pull it out of the shade. I was not ready, so I could have left it here and cut all of those pecans down, and I still probably am going to cut them down. But anyway, I decided to move it for now because it's a little shady here. I do have some new plantings. That's what the bag of good composty mulch is. So we have a kiwi, and then another new planting of another Gynura. I have it in another spot, but I did some propagating. And so this is that Gynura that has the little bit different leaf, kind of like a variegated pattern. Here's another blueberry that really needs to get more sun. So that's next on the list. And I hear George. Oh, here he comes. Coming to be a jerk. Bring it, buddy. Bring it. Oh, you're so scary. Yeah. Now get out of here. I'm gonna go visit your girls. I'm gonna go steal them from you. All right, I'll try and ignore them. Let's see. More blueberries moving for more light. Check out the growth. There he goes. Yeah, check out the growth on these bananas, the size of these leaves. You can't even, but they're loving the heat. And this is a big year for LSU purple. I think the main thing to show you guys are some of these persimmon grafts, how well they're doing. This is a bud graft, so it's coffee cake, and you can see where I forced it out. I bet the light's pretty bad, but the top two are Brad sample, coffee cake, and then another coffee cake right there. We got jujubes, so good fruit set like usual, and Jerky George. Another thing that's pretty new for the summer season down here is because of the mild winter, everything is swamped in Gherkin, and he's right here, really distracting. You know, these kind of plants that are super tough and are covering the ground, look at the amount of loft is what I really want to show. There's a few branches, but this is 2 or 3 feet off the ground, and so what the Gherkin is doing is giving loft that helps preserve that soil moisture, which we desperately need right now, and it's providing a yield. I mean, they're hard as heck to find, but it's loaded with, you know, fruit. This is a Mexican Gherkin, what they look like. So for those of you that aren't afraid to let in some pretty aggressive things, Mexican Gherkin will freeze out. So it's something where if you're more temperate, then you can totally go at it with abandon, let it go through the heat of the summer. And then the other plant that's really powerful, great plant that you're seeing that I might have already shared with you guys, but it should be high on anyone's list, is this guy right here, which I did not plant any of it. These are volunteers from seed that it drops itself, and here's seed to collect. This is Perilla or Shiso, and just picking this, you know, got a real strong smell. The leaves are these big guys, and you know, a great plant that can be in the understory, that can be in full sun, that is very aromatic, very herbal, and I see the seeds in there. I might have to come and collect in a little bit. So that's 2 more plants to think about adding for a very naturalized or very wild landscape. Neither is incredibly obnoxious. The Mexican gherkin is absolutely a plant that will swamp out a tree, you know, and cover it, but it's one that's fairly easy to control because you can just, you know, pull on it and it comes right out. It's not, you know, it's not grabbing hard, it's not a heavy vine, anything like that. George, we're gonna go see them just because you're being a jerk. George and the ladies enjoy the shade here because it's very open shade, and they also have the water there that they jump in and swim. And the ladder is right here. I'm gonna take you guys up in a tree for some more grafting. Okay, so we are up here, up above the bamboo, and George is down there. And the other thing I did was I top worked this mulberry tree as a way to get light to that avocado tree. So see that right there, just past that one elm? That's the avocado we were just at. And so I had branches fail. So here's failed grafts. And that means this whole branch right here, rather than regraft, I'm just gonna take it out at that point. But I've had all of these take well. So here's some good looking grafts with a lot of new growth. So I have already revisited these, I think once or maybe twice. I climbed back up here to take off sucker growth. But here's another good graft, you know, getting some good connection. And these all have, you know, plenty of leaves. So this is all Pakistan, I think white or red. It'll heal in really fast. I have got, you know, more months to do already. This one, you can see the diameter just swelling quickly. So that's, you know, that's getting sturdy, and just give it the rest of this year and boom, I got a nice, you know, tall mulberry dropping fruit. So same over here. This is all Pakistan. So here, this one will have a lot of ground to cover to make up. It didn't have a real, sometimes grafts have like a partial connection, not a really strong one. So that one hasn't grown as it could, but this one is real strong, has a good diameter ratio, although the connection at the top here looks a little weak. We'll see. But these are gonna keep growing all summer. And then there's one last one for this side over here, and it's still covered in foil. But I mean, they're all growing really fast. That's the cool thing. You know, mulberry is just so easy to graft. So that whole branch is gonna fill this space and then just rain down high quality mulberries. At least that's the plan. But mainly it was to help the avocado. That was the synergy in the whole thing. Hardly ever make it back here, but I do have a pawpaw tree. And this is one that I'm gonna be grafting. This is one that I grew from a seed that I collected from my summer camp up in Missouri, you know, ages ago. I did pre-germinate it, so I think I planted a really young seedling and didn't put a seed in the ground. But that's like 3 years old for a pawpaw. They grow slow, but it's got sunlight up above, incredibly deep. This is, you know, super deep mulch, a lot of good organic fertility. And so yeah, you guys don't get to come over here often. These are plants, you know, that get put in the shade where they go to hang out. There's actually a really nice, I don't know if you see the kumquats. This is a miwa that's actually just had a bunch of fruit set and is flowering again. But yeah, a lot of craziness back here, more Malabar covering the ground. I am finding so much appreciation these days for that security that comes from a food like Malabar, from, you know, this longevity spinach. I don't even remember planting this. You know, I slipped some cuttings. I try and bury them under mulch. But the food value in just, you know, being a gorilla and eating greens like this is tremendous. So the whole forest, you know, can be good edibles. Let's move on to the avocado. Not that there's really too much to see, other than I took out the fire blight. I see I missed a little branch, but that, you know, there's a lot of fire blight in here, and I real carefully with alcohol sprays took it out. But the avocados are getting bigger, and it's still something that's super exciting for me, and I just like sharing it. So it's a good second year. Plants that love the summertime, the yam is really taking over. I just had to cut it out of this persimmon tree. So I do not have the ladder handy to show you, but I did graft onto this persimmon tree. There's probably 3 new ones that took, so it's got not coffee cake, chocolate. It's got chocolate persimmon, Ichikikijiro, more Brad sample, and maybe one other, and they're all on that sunny side. But what was cool is I finally saw some fruit, you know, like it was, you know, this whole thing is just a Virginia persimmon, but it definitely had some female flowers. And that's pretty cool, because it's a big, you know, it's a big old tree. They still got some swelling to do, but it's coming along. So that'll be something fun to share with everyone, all the good figs. Lots of goodies. What else, what else, what else? More of like what I was talking about, these, you know, that's Okinawan spinach, but these patches, the chickens are leaving them. They're just, it's kind of the toughest thing for me. Let me talk to you guys. So I just love seeing how these edibles and the understory stuff is coming in to fill space. The chickens have weighed pretty heavily on me because they put such tremendous pressure on the landscape. You know, being without irrigation is the main thing. If I could do a big old soaker hose, I would, you know, who cares about the chickens? But as it is now, it's you know, it's like this environment that's actually more brittle, or just, you know, it's less stable because of that, all that scratching and letting the moisture out and all that. So it's cool that I'm seeing some of these plants come in and cover the ground, that the chickens are leaving them alone is huge, because I really want to be that example of a garden that can harmonize all those different forces. And, you know, having 21 with more chickens coming, it's kind of intense, and definitely something to think about management-wise. But yeah, they're letting some things grow. They know, you know, not to eat certain things, and obviously I still have, you know, protection for that turmeric. But this is pipe vine. You know, plants of value, I still am able to get them in here in a garden where the chicken pressure is incredibly high. So like here, more good food, and not just this patch, and this is just burying some stems, but there's more hiding out here. I mean, look at these Gyneras and how good they are at growing in the shade and just being food for whenever you need it. So that's something to think on. Another plug for those plants. Another plug, here's more fantastic avocado. There's a few more up there. That tree's growing well. And then we've got some cinnamon yam going crazy, so all this, but it's mainly one in that pot right there, and it's winding up the tree, along with the loofah, which I didn't replant. If you remember, I let loofah go up that tree last year, and so there was lots of fruit hanging down, dropping seed everywhere. So that's where this loofah is coming from. Let's go see. So here, it's already blooming. It's not its main bloom. But yeah, this is loofah that I did not plant. So I don't think a single one is coming out of this pot right here. Nope, they're all someplace else. And it's probably, I don't know, hopefully not too many. But this is, again, just allowing. This one made it up. That's gonna go up eventually. Struggling a little bit. This one's going to, I probably should give it, you know, another bamboo branch or something, but it's trying. You know, it knows where to get sunlight. Go up. So it's doing its thing. And there went a squirrel, which is our new, I mean, huge, the number of squirrels now in the garden. Quick revisit to the grafts for Daniel. More spinaches. Look at this patch right here. Look how much food. All right, so this is Tropic Beauty. Kind of spindly, and I just recently had to cut on that moringa because the branch was getting too close to rub on it. But got a little bit of Tropic Beauty. Everything else is kind of stalled. Here's Mid Pride, Clara Rosa. This is Florida King. So this whole area could have some good growth once I take out the middle. This side with the tropic snow has a lot more sunlight, and so they've grown a little bit better. They also might have been better grafts. And then these bees, I pulled some honey from them a couple weeks ago. So the top two boxes really, I think I took both. But they have the blue thing is also full of honey. So even though I might have taken all that, they had plenty. So this is a good strong colony. Chilling in the shade, making honey. Moringa, here's the cassava coming back. Sharing cuttings mainly. Not really focused on producing food with it, just because I know it's not getting enough sunlight. This is my 27-in-1 fig tree. That's right, one trunk. And I'm telling you, it's pretty crazy how many are grafts that took. You know, even down here in the shade. Red Sicilian, whatever that is. But it took. And here's Hollier, it took. See that? That's the graft points and the wound healing. Desert King, I don't even know that one. I've got, the top is all the new grafts on the pecan, so I did some suppression recently. I don't know if you saw my wood chips too. I came a couple days ago. Having to water this guy, deciding not to water this one. So this was incredibly productive. I think in my last one, I talked about how, oh, I should have put in some phosphorus. It ended up making so much fruit, and it just became a pain to water, and the stink bugs were getting a lot of the fruit. So I just, you know, you can't battle the stink bugs out here, but we did get to harvest. Oh, there goes Mama. I'm gonna show you those chicks in a second. Hear them peeping? We're gonna go over there. But I wanted to show you on this side that, so I made this quick arch, and this is just getting swamped with Mexican gherkin, and obviously loaded in fruit as well. But hopefully it covers the whole thing. And that was just a cheap quickie. And then here's some more grafts that have taken. You can tell it's, this is Bonfire and this is Bonanza. So they're two dwarf peaches. Listen to those babies. Let's go see the babies. So I have some food in my hand for them. Oh, I just scared Mom off the nest. So Mama and I are doing this tandem, and I'm getting to feed the babies a little bit too. I think there's too much in the way, you can't even see. I'm feeding them some wet cat food right now. But there's 4 of them. And then they go poop. She's about to shoot a big poop out. Oh, I don't think you guys can. Let me get you closer. Hello, baby. There you go. Down the gullet. One more. Alright, get it down, get it down, get it down. Mama's up here chirping at me. I don't want her to stay away too long, but I like feeding them too. We're taking turns and helping. That's Papa, and Mama's over to our right making that chirp. But we're taking turns. I wanted to share the babies with everybody that is watching. And check out all of the elderberry. It's going to be a really awesome year. If we get one more rain, there's just elderberry everywhere. Whoa, the chickens are all hiding out back there like something's... Maybe they're just taking a midday nap. Feel how low the energy is? What's going on, ladies? Is it too hot? Well, I don't know. This is weirding me out, like something's wrong. I think they just are that hot. You know, that spot where they all were, right back there where Fern is, that's like the coolest spot because that's where the duck water gets dumped out. So where those two are hanging out is cool and moist, and I think that's what this was all about. It's just passing the heat of the day. Craziness. So, all right, ladies, we'll see you later. Volunteers, talk about allowing, because that was kind of the theme at the beginning. So this mulberry tree right here, I'm gonna dig up and go plant in a public park somewhere and probably graft onto it. But it's, you know, it's a bird planted it. And same with all of this Perilla. This is the Shiso that I shared about before. I didn't plant that. If, you know, seed fell, and there's a lot more of it. If you see the big leaves, you know, right there, that's all Shiso. And same with this Mexican milkweed. You know, I didn't plant this. A seed just blew and managed to find a spot and, you know, and grow and do its thing, and something beautiful about that. So I did just plant these two little talinums, and that's, you know, to get that plant growing and established and allow it to reseed itself. But back over here, there is a spot where the talinum did reseed itself. So first off, I am capable of mowing a lawn and trying to get better at that. But I didn't plant any of this talinum. So this just shows you, this is also called Jewels of Opar. You see all the seeds on it. But this big plant with the nice edible leaves planted itself back here. And that's kind of what inspired me to plant more of it. So good things happening, good growth on the lemon, good growth on all the weedy summer vines. And we can go visit the inwood avocado tree, the seedling tree that already is showing differences. Look at the shape of this guy, you know? It's not, maybe a seedling from Wilma and not fantastic, because that shape is more Wilma-like, but you know, it's a seedling. I don't know its parentage, but we'll see. It'll either turn black or it'll stay green. But you know, it's growing well. It doesn't need any irrigation ever, and good things. Recovering from the crazy prune job. These cashews taking a year off, and that's okay. You know, citrus is alternate bearing many citrus. So like there's a few fruit in there, but not near as many as last year. And that's okay, that's good. So that is about it. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.